Have a good week. This year will be Li'ilu Nishmas Rachalei Abbas Chaim Tzvi as always. It should be a true aliyah for Hanashama. We're continuing in Yechezkel, Perek Tet. So we had been learning until now, is we saw how, if we go back to Perek Tet for a moment, we see, looking at its very beginning, that Yechezkel describes the various things that brought about the destruction. So it took place in a vision, where in the vision, not actually in the vision, Hashem took him to actually see the places, and to see the people, and to see what they're doing. So he says, look again and again, look up and see, and look at what you see, look at what the people are doing. So he saw how the people who should be on the highest level, the elders were worshipping idols. He saw various acts of injustice. And Hashem kept on saying, look at this, look at that. Until Yechezkel himself saw where everything was going. So Perek Tet begins with Hashem telling Yechezkel, now that you've seen what the causes of the destruction are, to see what the consequences of those causes would be. So there are several things that we have to discuss before getting into the Perek. The first thing is the purpose of Hashem telling him this is because what people normally do, we know us, right? When a disaster happens, we find external reasons for it. So if we take, for instance, the terrible earthquake in Haiti, I'm sure so many people are able to speak intelligently about wind currents, about population shifts, about the nature of building in Haiti, about why the elevation of the island caused a relatively moderate earthquake that was only 7 on the Richter scale to cause such incredible devastation. This is all true. We know what this is like. Imagine someone picking up a hammer, giving a blow, and then saying, the destruction was caused by the force of the hammer falling upon the table, without noticing that there's a hand that's holding the hammer, and that there's a reason for this destruction. So the Jews of the time, no doubt, would be able to talk also about political things, the Babylonians this, and the Assyrians that, and the Egyptians the others, of course. They'd be able to talk about failures in their own political body. We should have done this, and if only he would have done that. So this Perek is to tell us what the destruction will be, how it will come about, so that they could move themselves beyond the worst of all possible mistakes, which is thinking that Hashem isn't involved. One other thing that you have to understand when reading the Perek is that this Perek is really describing the Perek subsequent, even more so, the process of Hashem's decision making. So Chazal tell us oftentimes there's a big difference between before a decree was made and after it was made. Before a decree is made, things are very fluid. A change, even a relatively small change, could make a huge difference. After the decree is made, what is it like? It's like after you put money in the vending machine and press the button that let's say says coffee with vanilla. I'm sure some way you could prevent the cup from falling and the coffee from entering the cup. You could turn the vending machine upside down, you could pull out the plug, but it's almost certain that once you've pressed that button, there's a defined result. And the same way, once Hashem's Gezerah is made, and it's made after, again, he even showed Yechezkel what's involved in this. It's not going to change. V'yikra ba'oznai kol gadol lemor, karvu pikudot ha'ir, v'ish klei mashchito biyado. So at this point, he says that he hears a voice calling out to him, which is, the order has been given. The order has been given concerning the city. So that means those who are in charge of the city, the angels of destruction, have now been sent forth. So the word pikudah, which is sometimes used to mean memory or whatever, actually means an order being given. Hashem pakadat Sarah, that means Hashem already sent the order, Sarah shall be given a child. So it's happening. And every one of the different forces that will be involved has the appropriate tools of destruction. So the idea of there being different people involved in the destruction, that means that the destruction is going to take place both physically and spiritually. And different people will meet different fates, both physically and spiritually. And nothing is random. And the same is true in any disaster. The fact that one person suffered this death, while another person suffered a different death. Or where one person had enormous emotional suffering before their own death, while another person didn't. None of this is random. V'hinei, shisha anashim ba'im, miderech shah ha'elyon.